Mike Learhout here. I'm here to tell you about Grant Cardone Unplugged. You ever see one of these videos of a musician unplugged? Well, I'm going to tell you about Grant Cardone Unplugged, right? If you're watching this video, it means one of two things. You're already familiar with Grant Cardone and maybe you've been to one of his live events. Or you don't know Grant Cardone, or you're not familiar with him, and you're curious about him. Is he for real or not? Here's what I could tell you. I've been to many different live events with Grant Cardone. I've gotten a lot of value out of it. But there's one particular event that I want to talk about, which is his mentor calls. Back in, I think, right before the end of the year, Grant was on Facebook promoting, do you need a mentor? He did a lot of webinars about mentors, needing a mentor. And he's absolutely right. Everybody in their life needs a mentor, right? And he had this mentor programs where you sign up. It was like $1,000. Once a week, you are on a group, and basically you have this group once a week, and they talk about different things to mentor you. And I was like, okay, I've been to different live events with Grant. How's this mentor thing going to work? Kind of actually first time around, I said, not going to do it. Second time around, I remember I'm sitting in Florida. It's right around the holiday time. And I was like, you know what? New Year 2020 kickoff. Let me try this program. It's $1,000. It's pretty reasonable for what Grant delivers. Let me try it. Boy, am I glad I tried it. You know, Grant wrote the 10X rule. And the 10X rule to me is about being prepared in life, over preparing in life. And boy, it was a great time for this mentor call. So the first round of mentor calls, again, unbelievable. What I was most surprised at, and this is why I call it Grant Cardone Unplugged, because my biggest surprise was actually Grant showed up every time from his house, and it was like getting Grant Cardone Unplugged. I mean, basically, he was talking to a group of about 400, 500 people. We got to ask him questions. We got to interact with him. And I was shocked that such a public figure like Grant would take the time to do that. There was a ton of great information, ton of great planning. I'd set my 2020 up perfectly. Did the mentor program again. Actually, second time around, it was almost repetitive. And I was like, okay, great. Learned a lot. Sometimes I need to hear things more than once. If you're like me, I always like to hear things more than once. Sinks in a little bit. And the second time around at the end, I was like, I'm not going to do it a third time around. Then they got smart, right? The third time around, they completely changed it, and they were only going to talk about marketing. I'm like, right up our alley. We need to do this. So I got my wife on board. We joined the mentor call again. We're on our second one with the marketing. And I can tell you, based on the coronavirus and what happened, we had to pivot some of our stuff in our business. And thank God for those mentor calls, because it really set us in a good direction to be able to keep our business going strong during the coronavirus. The community itself is great too. And the value that they give, besides Grant actually unplugged, that's why I call it Grant Unplugged, being in his house. I mean, sometimes he's talking and he's got two adorable kids, right? Sometimes he's talking, one of his kids comes and hangs out, or his wife Elaine is always on the call. It's just nice to see this, and that's what I'm saying. You really see him in an atmosphere of home. He's taking his time out of his day. At the end of the day, usually it's at 7 o'clock on a Thursday, to join us, and he literally, the call's supposed to be an hour, sometimes an hour and a half, 2-hour calls where Grant's asking questions. People ask all kinds of questions, and the team he has around himself too, just as powerful. And then even off of the mentor calls, there's a whole Facebook group and a whole community. There's his team that leads things on Facebook, Sherry, Jared. So I just want to bring you this short video, tell you my personal experience with the mentor program and with Grant programs. I always find that he over-delivers and his team over-delivers. And I can tell you the mentor program is something that's been really helpful, just as the live events, but the mentor program is available to everyone. So the broad is a lot better. The broad is a bigger reach, and obviously I hope he continues to do them. I assume he is, but if there's one available, I'd jump on, no questions asked. Thanks, have a great day. And remember, Grant Cardone Unplugged.